We're here today, August 15th, 2022, due to a call that the Albuquerque Police Department's Emergency Communication Center received at about 0900 this morning. Residents at the area of 1333 Columbia Southeast notified the apartment complex managers that they located what they believed was a deceased female in an apartment behind me. The crime scene specialists and Albuquerque Police Department Field Service Bureau officers arrived on scene, conducted a preliminary investigation. Based on the facts and circumstances with that investigation, they determined that the death of the female was ruled suspicious, which initiated a full violent crimes call out. So I just want to make it clear, a suspicious death designation does not mean that it's homicide. It doesn't mean that it's not natural causes. It just means that there are facts in the death that lead the investigators to believe that there may be more than not natural causes that led to the death. So based on that, the Albuquerque Police Department's homicide unit is behind me. We're conducting interviews. We're going to be writing a warrant for the apartment in question and try to reverse engineer the life of the female to determine if her death was as of the effect of a natural causes death or if it was suspicious or nefarious in nature.
Is she beaten and there's blood in it all, or is it just
There's some possible signs of trauma. Now that trauma may be as a result of just normal life that caused it, or it could be as a result of a battery. So again, those are things that we'll determine. We'll know more once we get results back from autopsy to determine whether or not that trauma was caused by something like a fall or running into something, or it was caused by the hands of another human.
Can you say the age or?
We don't know the age of the female. We haven't made a positive identification on the female yet, and once we do, we'll release all that information to you.
Range, is it an adult or is it?
She's an adult female. Yes, she's in her, I would say late 40s and above.
You say you're getting a warrant for an apartment?
Yes, that's correct. We don't know if there's anybody else that live in that apartment. So typically, just our standard course of action, just to ensure whatever evidence that we collect is free from suppression when we take it to trial. We'll write a warrant for that, and then we're able to collect that information because we definitely have probable cause to believe that there was an incident that occurred, or possibly an incident that occurred in that apartment, and then we're able to collect the evidence free from worry of suppression.
So you said you're interviewing people. Does that mean there might be witnesses that may have saw something?
So far, the people that we have spoke to, the Field Service Bureau officers have spoke to, nobody has seen any sort of incident that could have led to the death of the female. They're all basically, it's kind of the telephone game, right? A person heard that there was a female that was deceased in the apartment. So we'll interview all of those people in that chain and determine what they saw, what they heard, who they heard it from, and again begin the process of reverse engineering this back to the events that took place that led us here this afternoon.
So again, just to clarify, you're calling this a suspicious death?
This is 100% a suspicious death. So, and again, we'll know more. We'll get more information as far as the designation once the officer, the medical investigator, conducts their examination, and then we'll get, if their examination shows true signs of battery that trauma led to the death, then of course we'll designate this as a homicide. If the medical investigator shows that this was a death of natural causes and some of the trauma that's found on the body is explainable as a result of those natural causes, then we'll designate it as a natural causes death, and the homicide unit will no longer investigate the incident.
So I have questions about just the homicide count. We're getting close to last year's number, so the question is, what are you guys doing to get a hold of that?
Sure. So what I can tell you is what I have control over with the detectives here. I know that there's some talk about it, but I mean, we're still sitting at over a 90% clearance rate for our homicides. So what has changed in years past with our 50% homicide rate is we're now very good at bringing the people that are committing these crimes to justice, providing the district attorney's office with a solid, substantial, prosecutable packet for the individuals who are committing these crimes, and that's the best that we could do right now. So, I can tell that those individuals who are out there committing these crimes, we're going to find you and we're going to bring you to justice.
Just to follow up on that, have there been any improvements in fighting crime this year as opposed to last year, and what's working?
Sure. So again, behind Mayor Keller's leadership, Chief Medina's leadership, they've revamped the violent crime section. So we have digital intelligence detectives that are within the building that help us mine and process any kind of digital intelligence that we're able to recover that we haven't had in years past. We've had a significant increase in the manpower. So where a homicide detective in years past would have double the amount of homicides they currently have, we're obviously spreading that load to give the detectives the ability to work each and every case, which is obviously leading to a significant increase in the homicide clearance rates. So there's been a significant increase in the time and the resources that are being spent within the homicide unit by the administration, and that's showing in our clearance rate and our ability to find if people are committing these crimes and they're being brought to justice. You know, as an example, we had one last night or the night before there on Central and Dorado. Very quickly, the detectives were able to respond, collect information, and write an arrest warrant for an individual that was responsible for the death of that male individual. So these are happening quickly, and we're on top of them as much as we can be. Anything else?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, boys.